Level by Level Gaming, and this is going to be a video on another arcade fight stick that I've built. So if you like that kind of thing, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think. Now this is another Raspberry Pi build, and I did actually make this fight stick a little bit smaller than the previous one and the Pandora's box, because the template that I used for the Pandora's box had to accommodate a larger internal space need. The Pandora's box is just plain bigger, and really just trying to cram all the stuff in with that in this size that I've done wouldn't work. So let's go ahead and cut this thing on, and so you can see the buttons lighting up. Here is the power button. Get a little flash and a blink, and there you go. So those are very bright. It is a yellow and black theme, as you can see. I went around the edges here with the yellow, and I made the base plate that houses everything or covers the bottom of it a yellow as well. Now I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to flip it over and take the screws out of the bottom and open it up and let you look inside. Alright, I've got the screws out of the bottom. You can see that I've got one towards each corner and then one down at the bottom right in the middle there. I also have some rubber non-slip feet that I've installed at each one of the corners for these coffee tables and stuff like that. The Raspberry Pi is actually bolted in right here, and they're not exactly flush. I guess I could take a Dremel and Dremel those off, but I like having a little bit of meat for those little nuts to grab onto there. So let's fold this thing out. There we go. And on the inside you can see I have a notch cut out for the Raspberry Pi. All the buttons are wired in. These are USB encoders, and EG. This one's an EG Start package. So don't know if I've done a review on those. I have to go back and look through my videos. If not, that's probably something I need to do, because I use quite a bit of these for my projects. Pretty simple, straightforward. Just if you've never seen the inside, with all the wires, the buttons, the back sides of the joysticks, encoders, that kind of thing. And this is the encasement for the Raspberry Pi. It does have a fan, a 5-volt fan that is attached that pulls up the air up and away. There's a gap in between the bottom here, and to allow the air to come in, go up through, and then out the top into the box area. So these things really don't create a ton of heat anyway. And then of course your USB coders connect right in the side there. HDMI power, and then a audio jack if you needed it. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. Alright, well, I'm going to close this thing back up and hook it up to the TV and show you the image that I'm running, and we'll go from there. Before I hooked it up to the TV, once I got the back on it, I did figure you guys might want to see just a little bit of what I was talking about with the size comparison. The other dimensions are the same. It's the same thickness. I just cut basically all around the edges. I cut some of that size off and just drew the buttons in just a little bit towards each other, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's move on to hooking up to the TV. Alright, let's cut it on and go from there. Alright, you can see that I'm using Wolfeno's 32GB Retro Pi Arcade Edition. It's I've been pretty happy with it. I do run it in the emulation station and not a track mode, but it does offer both. Let's let it go through the startup scripts, and there's a way to take that off. One of the images that I've tried recently doesn't show that, but I mean it all takes about the same amount of time to load up anyway, and the only difference to me is seeing a few words run across the screen versus just a black screen. Alright, so there we go, and we are running it in the emulation station mode. You can see along the right hand side the different options. I'm going to try to operate it, and where you can see, so we have arcade, Neo Geo, Atari, all the Capcoms, the Data East, Konami, Mario, Midway, Mortal Kombat, Namco, Nintendo, Pac-Man, Sega, SNK, Street Fighter, and you can also go to a list of all games. Let's just make it easy. We'll go up and go to one of the Street Fighters, and you can see there is a whole list of the Street Fighter games. A little window playing a video intro of the game and some words along the bottom there, like a little narrative, so you can read about the game. And let's just go into it. Now I do have all the hit a button to start the menu disabled. In my mind, that's kid proof and any kind of other proof, because if you've never had one of these and you hit a button and go into a menu, it just ruins your day. You have to shut the whole thing off, cut it back on again. I prefer just having that off. And I'm going to back up a little bit off of the screen. So you can see they do put a bezel around the edge because of the aspect ratios being different from the original arcade to your nice big screen TV. It's nice having those little strips down the side that just hide the black, where you have your whole screen filled up, and it's nice to look at. So there you go, game's fired up and running, and that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just stay tuned for future builds and just all the projects that I enjoy sharing with you guys.